Hello and welcome to Sent You a Message, where dreams are made, miracles are performed and questions about Xbox stuff are answered. The last bit's true anyway. Before normal services can resume though, Dan has something to say. Don't you, Dan? Don't you, Dan?
Sorry for the thing.
The thing?
Alright then, last week we stated that the new Stimulus package add-on for Modern Warfare 2 would feature Vacants as one of its two maps from the original Modern Warfare, when in fact, and as many of you have pointed out, the two maps are actually Crash and Overgrown. The person responsible for providing us with this erroneous information has since been taken outside and shot. Not really. We did it inside so the neighbours wouldn't see, but we are sorry in that.
Well, I was actually talking about you impersonating me in shopping centres trying to get a discount on makeup, but that will do. And now we return you to the scheduled programming. Ryan White has conquered the mighty Mass Effect 2 and is now wondering whether a third part is on the way and if you'll be able to once again import Shepard.
Well, if you've been paying attention to the hints that appear during Mass Effect 2's loading screens, you will have seen that one of them not only confirms Mass Effect 3, but also categorically states that the decision you make at the game's epic end will have massive repercussions in the concluding part of the universe-trotting trilogy. So that's a yes to both of your questions.
But those forward thinkers at BioWare are already talking about life after Shepard, stating that the Mass Effect universe will live on after the trilogy. It's not like they're short of material, as anyone who's read the alarmingly in-depth descriptions within the game's codex will testify.
We've no idea what these new games will entail, or if they even be action RPGs, but if anyone from BioWare is watching, we'd like to see Intergalactic Gardening Simulator Grass Effect, Space Trumpet Rhythm Actioner Brass Effect, Fishing Extravaganza Bass Effect, Donkey Racer Ass Effect, Baked Bean Eat 'em Up Gas Effect, and of course karaoke game Morden Solis' Sing-Along of Gilbert and Sullivan. Next up, Solar Bobcat is an impatient fellow and wants to know when there'll be more DJ Hero DLC hitting the marketplace.
While it's true that DLC for the DJ 'em Up has been slow in coming, it's kind of understandable as the process for creating DJ Hero tracks is a little more complex than the one for creating Guitar Hero tracks. They've actually got to create the mixes in the first place, for one thing.
But now that you mention it, some new content has actually just hit the marketplace. 3 new tracks from lifelong best pals and 2008 Coxless Pairs Olympic gold medalists, Jay-Z and Eminem.
They weren't 2008 Coxless Pairs Olympic gold medalists.
No, I'm pretty sure they were. Anyway, the tracks are Shake That versus Show Me What You Got, Without Me versus Encore, and Lose Yourself versus Can I? And they're exclusive to the 360 until the 25th. Happy scratching.
You just can't make that kind of stuff up.
Apparently I can. Next question.
Next question. Chimpy2 is asking if there's going to be a Test Drive Unlimited 2.
Well, Chimpy, the good news is that yes, there will be a Test Drive Unlimited 2. Details are scarce at present, but Atari have officially announced that the game is definitely on the way and is set to release in the fourth quarter of 2010.
The game will be more of the massively open online racing that the original game pioneered, where you race throughout a persistent online environment and compete or team up with other players you encounter throughout the game world.
Features announced so far include dynamic weather effects, day and night cycles, vehicle damage, an all-new island to explore, all new race types, vehicle classes and environmental challenges. Seth Terra got his free Splosion Man Avatar t-shirt courtesy of the lovely Avatar Awardables feature, but has no idea which other game features unlockable items and expects us to help him for some reason. What do you think this is, the Ask Xbox a Question Get an Answer Back show?
That was the rejected working title.
I still think it's better, but that's not the point. The point is that it's not my job to tell you that Halo, Waypoint, Perfect Dark, Scrap Metal, Lips #1 hits, Left 4 Dead 2, Toy Soldiers, Darwinia Plus, and Lazy Raiders all feature Avatar Awards. Nor is there any stipulation in my contract that states that I'm duty-bound to point you to the URL that shouldn't be appearing on screen right now for further details.
I know, what a cheek, huh?
Yeah, exactly, the nerve of some people. Next thing you know, someone will expect me to tell them something about Crysis 2, like this guy, Donkey Boy V1 here. What's the world coming to?
Well, Donkey Boy, the original Crysis may not have escaped the PC jungle, but the souped-up sequel certainly will.
Yep, EA's Crysis 2 is the follow-up to Crytek's CryEngine-powered Crysis, itself a pseudo-successor to Far Cry and Cry. Sorry, what Cry meant to say is that it's due to hit Xbox in 2011.
For crying out loud, could you cry not saying cry so much?
I'm crying really hard.
Well, cry harder.
Oh, cry will. Crysis 2 sheds the lush tropical surroundings of the Lingshan Islands and instead heads to that most underused of cities, New York, New York. While nothing's been revealed of the storyline, the performance-enhancing nanosuit will make a return, which indicates that Crysis 2 could offer crackdown cryvilling of extreme destruction and gravity-shunning acrobatics, albeit from a first-person view.
Well, it's easy to be blinded by the amazing visuals, which come courtesy of the uber-powerful CryEngine 3. Crytek isn't in the habit of making glorified tech demos, and so hopes for this sandbox shooter are high. Now, Featherlegs, who probably fights like a dairy farmer, is asking if there will be a Monkey Island 2 LeChuck's Revenge Special Edition.
Well, yes. Thank all that is holy and unholy just in case there is. Now, if you didn't play the first Monkey Island Special Edition, we'll wait here while you go and do that.
It's streaming video. They can't launch a game while this is on.
All right. Well, still, you should go and play it. Anyway, due to the success of the first game, LucasArts has announced that a Monkey Island 2 LeChuck's Revenge Special Edition is on the way.
Set several months after the first Monkey Island, the second game sees the ghost pirate LeChuck resurrected as a zombie and causing havoc throughout the Caribbean. And it's up to you, as the newly bearded Guybrush Threepwood, to stop him by solving puzzles, insulting people and generally stealing anything that isn't nailed down.
As with the first special edition, the graphics have been given a total overhaul. Apparently they've paid particular attention to Guybrush's hair this time around after angry fan reaction last time. Plus there's a full voiceover by the Monkey Game's usual cast, as well as redone music and a hint system should you get stuck on some of the puzzles.
But there's some new additions as well. You can now have direct control of Guybrush, meaning you can forego the old point and click system of navigation completely if you fancy it, as it includes an interactive object hint system that can be used to highlight objects of interest in the environment.
Particularly interesting to Monkey Island fans will be the fact that there's also in-game audio commentary from the game's creators, DVD Extra style, where they share their thoughts and memories about the making of the game.
The only possible downside is that, according to the announcement, players will also be able to get a glimpse of yesteryear, with an in-game art viewer offering up classic glimpses of select areas of the game.
Now, there's no word on whether this means that the ability to switch back and forth between the old and new versions of the game has been removed, but we'll be looking into it. Or at least Andy will. He'll hunt you down, LucasArts. Now, Blood Boy should consider changing his name to Blood Boy Racer, such is his love for all things Formula 1. He's certainly not the first to notice the dearth of official F1 games on Xbox 360 to date, and like those before him, wants to know if this drought will ever end.
Well, hold on to your imitation leather armchair, BB, because Codemasters has confirmed that Formula 1 2010, the official game of the current season, will be ready to leave the paddock this September.
Why? Only yesterday evening I was chatting to the game's lead designer. He'd done said some things, and this is one of the things what he'd done said.
We've revealed very recently that it's going to be September of this year. That gives us a huge advantage in the fact that we can watch more of the races of the season. It's being able to replicate what's going on in the real world, and that's hugely important. If we'd launched right at the beginning of the season, which we never intended to do anyway, you'd get things wrong. I mean, if we tried to do that last season, you would just have no idea what Brawn were doing. You didn't know what they were going to pick up. So we'll be able to see what's going on, the major upgrades, and we'll be able to, tune the game so that it actually replicates 2010.
The full interview will be making a pit stop on Inside Xbox very soon. Next up, L635 keeps it short and sweet, asking simply, any news on the next Medal of Honor?
Yes, this is the new Medal of Honor game entitled, fittingly enough, Medal of Honor, which is due out this autumn.
The game's being developed by EA Los Angeles and DICE, who have decided for some reason that warfare games based in a modern setting are popular. Don't know where they got that idea, but apparently they're sticking to their guns as the game is set in present-day Afghanistan.
EA LA are handling the single-player element of the game, while DICE, best known for the Battlefield series, will be handling the multiplayer side, which can only be a good thing, as you'll know if you've played the recently released Battlefield Bad Company 2.
Now, much like other warfare games in a modern setting, Medal of Honor will see you taking control of several different player characters throughout the game, seeing things from both a big military perspective as part of a US Ranger squad and from the perspective of Tier 1 operatives.
Tier 1 ops are the best of the best. There are 2 million men and women in the US military. Of these, 50,000 are Spec Ops. Of these, only a few hundred are Tier 1. They're the elite of the elite, only used in the deadliest situations. They also appear to have lavish beards, if the box art is anything to go by, but it's not clear as to whether that's an entry requirement or not.
Anyway, EA has apparently been working with actual Tier 1 operatives in the development of the game, so if suddenly everything goes quiet in the studio and shadowy figures are seen rappelling into a helicopter off their roof, you should probably call the police.
Fuller details are scarce at the moment beyond what you can see in the trailer we're showing you here, but it looks like EA is moving away from the scripted, over-the-top Hollywood cinematics of other warfare games in a modern setting to create something a little more authentic. More on the game when we get it, guys.
Just like my days of dressing up like Jane, this instalment of Sent You a Message is over. Keep the questions coming in to the Sent You a Message gamer tag,
our Twitter account at SentUAMessage,
the Facebook group facebook.com/SentUAMessage,
email us at SentUAMessage@hotmail.com,
or lock yourself in a small dark room, light several dozen candles, etch the ancient symbol for game trivia demon Swamam on the floor, chant the following incantation, and once you've awoken our Dark Lord from his 4,000-year slumber, ask him about Elder Scrolls V. He still won't know the answer.
See you next time.